All right, we live again, everybody. Welcome back to Everybody Has a Mic podcast. It's your boy, J.T. Malone, a.k.a. the man formerly known as Freak Nasty, a.k.a. the man formerly known as the Sneaker Consultant. Who we got with us today?
My name is Mo. Again, personal trainer, DJ. I DJ and I DJ and I DJ and I work a lot. And that is me. Steve, hit him.
It's your boy Stevie B. You can at me at Mr. S.B. on Instagram. I would just like to say I'm happy to be here. And let's put in work and work with purpose. Let's get it going.
All right. First topic.
Sorry about the sound quality. He's coming back.
He gonna get a mic. Guy. He getting the mic. These is beta tests, guys.
Yeah.
Work with us. First topic tonight. Interesting situation I found out about. I have a friend, longtime friend, who has a son that's in middle school. He is being investigated by his school currently for sending out racial slurs to a black student. The question that I have to you guys is racism a taught, learned, or a natural behavior? Stevie B, hit us.
Wow, that's a solid question, Justin. I can't even front, man. Ooh. Damn. You know what? All three of us have experienced racism in some form of fashion, right? And throughout that being the case, I think that I would like to believe that it is a learned thing. You know what I'm saying? Because somehow, some way, it's almost like, although they may not, we all know someone that has a child that is of Caucasian descent or any other descent, right? And they're able to defer from being what they might have grew up around. But sometimes, the natural power of things, you know what I'm saying? You see it without having to see it, as far as, some people having better opportunities depending on certain scenarios and certain whatevers. And I would like to honestly say that it is like learned, like almost like inherited. You know what I mean? It might skip, it might skip a generation or two. And, sometimes it just breaks the whole barrier or whatever the case may be. But in some scenarios, man, like, honestly, see you. I ain't even gonna look up and see what just happened. Anyway, football guys, every week we out here watching. I saw something earlier this week, man, from Columbus, Ohio. A bunch of people walking in the streets. You know what I mean?
Seen that.
You've seen that, right? And if anybody's watching any kind of social media, I'm sure it's came up on your feed somehow, some way. And a bunch of people face masked all up and out there protesting, and they were saying some really foul things about black people. You know what I'm saying? And it's very unfortunate, but I think that it's like it's learned somehow, some way. Because you got to believe the fact that, or think about the fact that, I hate to be a little long-winded, but they have grandfathers and grandparents and their parents, and we're only technically speaking maybe a generation removed from how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my parents and my aunts and people like that were at the end, quote unquote, of when that stuff was supposed to stop. So sometimes, man, it just trickles down, especially a lot in the middle of America and the South. But what do you think, Mo?
Oh, this happened in Connecticut.
Oh,
so yeah, this is not middle America.
Don't even all right, and if we go in there, then I believe it, man. And we've all been in places in Connecticut. We're fortunate enough, I guess, if you want to say, to live in Southern Connecticut, right? We're right outside of New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's places in CT that you wouldn't even want to go. And to be honest with you, there's places even in the Bridgeport area that you don't even want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was once going to see a good friend of all of ours, Karem, at a brewery that he was at the time, a couple years back. When I got at the end of the highway, it was a strong Trump rally at the end of that highway. Strong Trump rally. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was real deal. You know what I mean? Hey, a couple years later, my man is back where they wanted him to be, but they was out there on some real strong tip. Like I probably shouldn't be in that area after dark, man. You know what I'm saying? Depending on certain scenarios, but I'm not gonna say it, but Monroe, Connecticut, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you
That's
know
plant
what I mean?
country.
Hey. But that being said, I think that it's like passed down sometimes, man. You know, because parents talk that crazy talk, grandparents talk that crazy talk, and you rarely, if ever, probably see the children saying like, "Don't say that about them, please don't." You know what I mean? Like you just never know. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts, man. But what do you think, Mo? Let me know what's happening in your mind as far as the topic. Solid topic, by the way, Justin.
Yeah, it is. It is solid topic. We're going into that is definitely learned. It's definitely learned. It's learned. Nobody comes out the womb and it's like, I'm racist. Hate your ass. Like nobody's nobody's coming out their mama's kitty cat talking about some I hate your black ass. Like nobody's doing that. I'm sorry. No one's doing that. And I know so many people. Well, I was raised regardless. Color didn't matter. Color did not matter. Love is love, right? Everybody didn't grow up like that. But at the same time, I grew up as knowing, listen, you are going to be you're a black boy right now. You're not a black man yet, but you will be looked at as a black man regardless of you being a black boy. So I had to know when things were or anticipate possible racism. So it's two different ways of looking at it. I personally think that it's a learned behavior though. There's no way. There's no way a kid's just randomly, they're hearing it from somewhere. They're hearing it from somewhere and they're putting it's almost like messaging. Messaging. You see on News 12 or Channel 12 News or Channel 7 News, you keep seeing a black male being arrested for a certain thing. You keep seeing black males being arrested for any certain thing. In the head of programming and messaging means so much. So when somebody looks at you, me, or somebody else, they could think that this person is dangerous. The programming of TV alone and media alone does that. You know, a lot of people are in jail, just like we do our jail systems. Our jail systems, you know, we have Diddy and I hate to bring them up, Diddy and R. Kelly in jail, right? No, we got Diddy and R. Kelly in jail, right?
Abercrombie free.
Abercrombie's Addy is free, right?
Yep.
Big Donald's the president. Big Donald's cabinet, it's a bunch of molesters, rapists out here. Hey, only in America.
Solid.
It's solid.
Solid facts. Solid facts right there, sir. I appreciate it, man.
For me to close this one out, yeah, I think it's a learned behavior, taught behavior as well. And the reason I know it is because in this specific story that I know about, I know the parent is not that way. But I also know the other parent. And the other parent don't really rock with the brown skinned people unless he got some drug deals involved. Oh, I'm putting it out there because that's what he is. He's a criminal, he's a felon, he's a thug. He just is the Caucasian persuasion, and he got a reason to not like people that are brown. And I know for a fact that his family is that way, because you know I grew up around people who are that way in Norwalk, and I'm going to say that way is Greek people. Not all Greek people, but I'm putting it out there for real because at the end of the day, my family, we in Connecticut, we lived in Norwalk, we was the first black family to move in our neighborhood in 1975. In Newark, Connecticut, first black family in that neighborhood in 1975. You fast forward to 1988, 89, a Greek family moves in up the street. The little Greek boy, is calling my brother a nigger. Italians moved across the street from us. They ain't never called nobody no nigger. The Greek families would move in, automatically we was niggers. So again, learn behavior. But again, like you said, they watching the news, they propaganda. Because let's just be real. I'm just going to put it out there. Immigrants don't know nothing when they come to this country, but they watch a lot of TV.
Yep.
And the TV, just like Mo said, show Steve getting arrested for jaywalking. It show Mo getting arrested because he stole a Annihilator from the corner store. It showed me getting arrested because I put an envelope in the mailbox and I didn't put a stamp on it. All white collar crimes, but we on the front page of the news and they villainizing us like we just freaking came down and sprayed the block. It don't matter what crime you commit in this country. If you black, you the worst of the worst. If you got the, what did Paul Mooney say? The complexion for the protection. Oh, you good. It's all good. So it is definitely a learned behavior. I mean, shout out to the Greek community. I know y'all women love the brothers, but I know y'all men, some of y'all be hating. And I met a lot of good Greek people in my life. So I'm not putting that on all Greek people. But I done had at least 3 run-ins with racist Greek people in Newark, Connecticut, where I was born and raised. So my opinion on that, and then finding this out and knowing, you know, the history of who the person is, whose son it is, hell yeah, it's taught. So I think we gonna ride over to Stevie B right now, get his topic. What's good, Steve?
That was heavy, son. Here, I would like to go with something that I'm learning more about and seeing that is now, obviously a thing, which kind of piggybacks a little bit on what Mo Money was talking about last week. Um, I'd like to know you guys' opinion on Bitcoin and virtual currency and what's happening in the world today and how it's going to affect us going forward. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna shoot up to you, Justin. Let me know what you think, bro.
Bitcoin and the virtual currency shooting up. So I got a little bit of Bitcoin. I don't got much. I should have listened to that man back in 2009 who was like, buy Bitcoin. It's a penny. You should buy it. Trust me. And next time I seen that man, it was 10 years later, and he was on a yacht, and he was like, I told you, on a shirt. Older black gentleman. I came in at Bitcoin when it was about 25,000. I probably got 0.0.01 of Bitcoin. But I'm not going to hold you. I kind of think Bitcoin is the feds. I think they finding a way to get money from people. Because think about it, the people who was using Bitcoin the heaviest at first was the dealers, the cartels, pimps, prostitutes, hustlers. You know, you selling that cocaine and you selling that weed, it's untraceable currency. And at the end of the day, now all of a sudden, you know, you can get taxed on your Bitcoin sales and all of this type of bullshit, but it wasn't supposed to be government regulated. As soon as government put regulations on something, I automatically think they was the ones who started anyway. Because remember, internet was originally supposed to be, you know, free, open market information, and the government trying to put regulations on it, and you find out they was the one who created it in the first place. Always look at the government. They created it. It's a way to get money from these cartels and these drug dealers easier. Because I guarantee you, and people can say, oh, you talking crazy. He got the conspiracy theory. Kiss my ass, number one. Number two, if you still trust in the government in 2024 and you look like us 3 on the panel, bend over and twerk for Big Gun Daddy. Mo Money, how you feel about Bitcoin?
Ow. Ow.
Now,
Big gun
pause,
daddy.
pause, fellas.
Big gun daddy.
Come on, Mo.
Come on, Mo.
Dang, man, I should have said that last week. But anyway, man, it's crazy. People keep talking about it.
We gotta sell the shirts.
Yeah, man, big gun daddy. But so, you know what? Honestly, y'all, I always knew something was fishy with Bitcoin, man. I just knew something was just fishy with it. I can't get my money out. How do I get my money out? What is the nobody's telling me certain things, you know? How do I get my money out? And what is the exchange to dollars? Right? I never knew that. So you have this money that's supposed to be untraceable. It all seems suspect. And I'm with Justin on this one. The government has something to do with it, or the government was trying to control it. The government doesn't like anything that's not controlled. They can't control, like TikTok. That's why they're desperate to get rid of it. So when I finally got on TikTok, which took me a long time to get on, because you know how I am with social media anyway. Takes me, I'm always I'm always the last one to get on something. But when I get on something, I get on it. But
you be running.
I try. But what I found out, on TikTok is the TikTok shop. The TikTok shop has items that are a lot cheaper than Amazon and these other marketplaces. Yeah. And where does America usually get all their stuff?
China.
Amazon delivery, right?
China, right? China food. Okay, you right. Wow,
see what
solid.
I mean?
Solid. Didn't even think from that perspective.
That's very true.
Yes, they're pressed. They were pressed. I started seeing it early in the summertime, early before summer. And I was like, yo, they got all this stuff. It's cheaper. Hold on. That's what it coming right to your house too. And I was like, that's what it is. So my point is, I'm with Justin on this. It's definitely some government energy going on. And do y'all remember not too long ago, maybe a year or something ago, all the big wigs of Bitcoin were getting
died.
Let's say murdered, killed, mysterious is going down.
Yes.
Stabbed up. I mean,
bringing it up. I'm about
cats on the beach, dude in San Francisco waiting for an Uber gets popped.
He was Cash App. He was Cash App.
They Cash App.
Also virtual currency.
As soon as he got popped, all of a sudden they have regulations on Cash App.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Come on, man. But
that's coming for you.
That's gone. It doesn't even exist anymore. Which is crazy. Which is absolutely
I got Cash App.
Yeah, so do I. But I'm just saying, it's like that dude owned it. Yeah. And now he's gone. And you don't even hear anything about it. It's not spoken about. None of that stuff. It's just over.
No investigation,
nothing. The creator of Cash App was just mysteriously murdered. And no, you don't know who did it. None of the stuff. Just done. You know what I'm saying? But I hear you, man. Mo, all solid statements. And here's what I have to say about that scenario. I have, between the three of us, I have a banking background, right? So I did banking for like 13 years. And I know a lot of people that touch money and all types of stuff like that. And the truth of the matter is, the unfortunate part is, people like to believe that we weren't working off of virtual currency our whole lives. Banks is virtual currency.
100%.
You walk into a bank and you give them your paycheck or your actual hard-earned cash, and they give you a card and you walk around with that card and it's virtual currency, right? So God forbid if the banks, because we've seen a lot of bank things happen more recently, whether that be Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you know what I'm saying? We've seen things that happen within our adult years to these banks that, you sit back and say, wow, how did you get hacked? Or why is money coming out of my account from this perspective? And the only thing Cash App, no, not Cash App, but like Bitcoin or Dogecoin or all that other stuff. It's just creating your own. You have your own bank, right? So pretty much your own bank because you don't have somebody looking over it, right? But now we're getting these government regulations. I remember when I was working for the bank with this one kid, man. He showed up, young dude at the time, maybe like 20, 21. He withdrew $5,000 from me. And he said, yo, I'm about to take this money and go buy a Bitcoin. I was like, bro, you about to hand somebody at a Starbucks $5,000 and they're going to say, this is your Bitcoin. And you're going to walk away thinking that you won this transaction. Now, this was like maybe 10 years ago. You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember that.
Before,
We
yeah,
talked
I was
about it.
like, yo, I was like, you really think that this is going to be a move? He was like, yo, I guarantee you, old head, you know what I'm saying? I guarantee you this money going to work. I'm going to make it work for me. And I was like, this don't make no sense, but you can have your 5,000 and you can go hand it to some perfect stranger that's going to give you something that says that you have 5,000, right? I don't know who this kid is or from a can of paint at this time. And now that the opportunity has been, sold and he could possibly have $80,000 off of that 5,000 that he spent 10 years
Yep.
ago. Shouts out to you, my good sir.
Yeah,
For real, for
exactly.
real. But the truth of the matter is, and I'm not a biblical person and by no means, fellas, you know what I'm saying? But something that has always been spoken about is one world currency,
Yes.
right? One world currency, right? So if
Mhm.
you get people on one world currency, things are supposed to, move in a certain direction. But I'm not getting that deep tonight. What I would like to say is it's an interesting perspective on what they're doing with Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and all this other stuff. But the truth of the matter is, all of our lives and all of our parents' lives and all of our parents before their lives, they literally were living in a literal virtual currency. The difference is they were writing everything down in their checkbooks, right? But it was only in their minds, right? It was only in their mind saying that I have this money, and yeah, you got an opportunity to go to this bank and pull your money out. But what ends up happening in reality is they want your money. Give me your CDs, and so that way they can shop it out and do more stuff with you. You're feeding into the endless pot. Same thing with something like a life insurance. I've had a conversation with a
Yes.
gentleman with life insurance, and I was a beast at selling stuff because you play on people's feelings and stuff like that. Whatever the case may be, it's important to have. It is. It's important to have for people that need it. When you don't need the money, it's not important to have. And the dude that had the money told me this. He said, you feed into a money pot for life insurance, and then somebody passes away. So they pull from the money pot to give to whoever that's supposed to be, but they still have countless amount of people feeding into the money pot. He said, if you got
Yes.
your own money to be able to take care of what you need to take care of, why am I feeding into a money pot? The point of the matter is make sure you get your bread up so that way, God forbid, if you die, all the money that you have saved up can take care of your family and your household and everything else in between. He said, I'll never buy money. He said, I'll never buy life insurance for you, sir, ever. And he
Mm.
made a solid point to me in that moment. And I just think it's interesting from that perspective, but we'll see what's going to happen in the future. What do you got for us tonight, Mo Money?
Before we move on, I got one final statement.
What's
Money
that?
in itself, like we said, is a figment of our imagination. I don't know if you remember this, Steve. It was probably about 7, 8 years ago. I told you, yo, money's a figment of our imagination. We woke up tomorrow and we stopped, like you said, feeding into the banking system, feeding into life insurance, paying taxes, all of this type of stuff. What will happen? We go back to a barter system. I got to work 5 hours to get the corn from your field or whatever, or I got to come clean your house to get the milk. Whatever. You go to a barter system. That's what would happen if we ran out of money. But the point I'm making is the day I figured out money was made up, figment of the imagination, I never had money problems ever again. Because I just know how to get it. It's all about your mind. If you attract it, you attract it. If you don't, you don't. Ain't no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. And we'll see if Bitcoin stands the test of time. But when the feds come and start kicking in everybody's door in and they get you for that hooker you bought 20 years ago on some old weirdo shit because you
Crazy.
did it on Bitcoin and you didn't think they was paying attention and they really was, we gonna see. But Mo,
Yeah.
sorry, I mean you off, but that's where it is.
It's all right. The Bitcoin freak offs. It's all right.
Lord,
Bitcoin free. Hey, man. Somebody got a traffic. Somebody got traffic.
you know.
Hey. But anyway, so guys, let's get into it. Love is love, correct?
Uh-oh.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. We all agree on that, right? Love is love. Let's talk about interracial relationships. You all right, Steve?
Yeah.
You must have an aneurysm over there.
I see this.
Oh,
I see that you had the next had the exorcism. Your neck is all right, brother. All right. Hey, listen.
that's what we doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly what we're doing today.
He want Umar on our necks. That's what he going for. Uh,
What's he
uh,
say? What's he say? What he say? Chocolate sisters forever. Snow bunnies never. And whatever. I don't know what that made me hear. But so we're talking we're talking about interracial relationships, right? And the reason why I want to bring it up is because I wanted to get your guys' perspective on interracial relationships and how you have dated or married or who you're with or have what has happened in the past. How are you looked at as a black male to black women regarding interracial relationships?
who's starting? Steve, you going?
I guess I'll go first. All right, so I'm gonna keep it a buck out here today. All right, so
Uh-oh.
what I've learned more recently, and just in general with interracial relationships, I have a half white son. Um, uh, is you just want as a black man for whoever you're dating or whatever the case may be to understand what they never can, right? So you would like for them to try and have a little, I guess, empathy to the fact that they have a child that regardless of what they look like, they are us. They identify as us. You now have a child of color. You now have to understand how important it is for you to educate yourself on the things that has happened to people of color for the existence that we've been in the United States. You have to know that there's a strong possibility that our child that looks like me can get pulled over and not go home. You have to know that there's a possibility that our child could be just randomly walking down the streets, randomly walking down the street with a pack of Skittles in his hand and be murdered. You can actually, you know what I'm saying? You have to do this. And it has to be your due diligence as a woman that is not of color. I've had strong conversations and, you know, interesting, not arguments, but statements made from family members that, said to me and not necessarily directly to me, but came at, family members like, yo, how y'all out here doing this? How y'all living like that? How are you letting them date out of our race? Aunts, you know what I'm saying? Speaking their speak and having their true talk. And having my dad have to, take on the burden of some of that stuff and say, yo, we don't have color. My grandchildren are my grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? We don't have color. This is my family, and have our black aunts and not aunts, but aunts, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, speak about that and have something to say, cousins or whatever the case may be. And for my sisters, I understand where you're coming from because there's only one group of people that can understand what it's like to feel the pain of a black man is a black woman, right? They're the ones that watch this, swinging from trees. They're the ones that, watch this taken away from the home. They're the ones that had to deal with the level of pain and burden that, a black man not being in the house for whatever reason. And I feel for them. I genuinely do for a lot of different reasons because a lot of white women are taking a lot of black men. You know what I'm saying? And that burns them up. And they say, how could you be with these women that can't understand you? And it's almost a sense to where it's like not so much that they can't understand me, but they're trying to help in some scenarios. And yes, my sisters, you help as well. You know what I mean? And I know black men that say, Black women are a headache. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. And it's an interesting perspective, but for the women that are of Caucasian descent that are dating black men, my one thing that I would like to say to you is try and educate yourself as much as you can on what is on us as a people, right? And for my sisters that's out here hating the fact that black men are leaving black women and dating white women, I ain't got the answers for that. I genuinely don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, y'all got y'all own answers. Y'all can say that dudes is weak and they this and they that. And I don't know, man. There's some kind of statistic somewhere out there that somebody can read about why that happens to black women. And if you would like to educate yourself on doing so, I would like to say do so. I have no problem with dating anyone from any race, and I've dated everybody from every woman from every type of scenario. So I love everybody for the most part. But that being said, that's a tough, critical scenario. Justin, how do you feel about this scenario, bro?
All right. So my wife is also a Caucasian American. Um, but at the end of the day, back when I was out here in the dating world or whatever, I was trying to smash everybody. White, Spanish, Asian, Indian. If you was down, I was down. That was it. Like, I was not trying to just stick to one type of woman. Like, I wanted them all. Like, I used to get, like, straight up, I go back to high school. I used to get tight at some of the badass Spanish chicks that you see with the corny ass Spanish dude. I would get tight at the badass white chick being with the corny ass white dude. Cause I'd be like, that chick too hot for that dude. I don't care what color he is. She deserved better. I also used to get mad at the badass black girls for wanting to date the D-boys or the ball players too. Okay? So I got mad at all the ladies for dating cornballs. And in reality, the same girls who I was mad at for dating these dudes that they was bad as hell, they thought I was corny. Back to the nerd conversation last week. They thought I was corny. They thought I had stupid views. They thought I was too outspoken. They thought I oh, you say too much. You're mean. Oh no, I tell you the truth. That corny motherfucker right there, he gonna tell you whatever he want because he is simp. L7 all the way. Just because again I talk a certain way and everything like that, ain't no simp in my blood, man. My brother, his nickname is AP. And if you don't know, AP stands for American Pimp. You don't think I soaked up some game? At the end of the day, when it comes down to the international, yes, the international lover, I should call myself that. It's about to self-proclaim that one. But when it comes down to, interracial dating and everything like that, and, how people feel about it, I've had people tell me, black women tell me, oh, every time I see a black dude with a white girl, I think he corny. You ain't never had a conversation with that man. You don't know nothing about his life. He could have been living out in Bumblefuck, Oklahoma on an oil fucking rig, working, and he just wants to go out to the bar and get a drink one night, and he met a woman at the bar, and she happened to be white. You supposed to become celibate because your surroundings ain't full of the people who look like you? But in the same breath, the same black women who would talk trash about myself or Steve or whoever for dating a white woman, a Spanish woman, an Asian woman will celebrate to the hill a goddamn Serena Williams, a Eve with their white husbands. So keep the same energy, people. I don't want to hear shit about a black athlete with his white girlfriend when the black girl athlete get a white husband or boyfriend and y'all clapping for it. Zendaya and that little motherfucker Tom Holland, y'all was talking about how cute that dude is. That's a corny motherfucker. And she hot. And y'all clapping it up for him. But see, Breezy, if he show up with a Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera looking girl, he sell out. So we gonna start calling black women who date white men bed wenches? That's where we going? Because we can start that trend right now. Stop worrying about who other people sleeping with. Because at the end of the day, and Mo Money, you've seen it and you heard me say it. There used to be girls that would ask me, oh, how can you talk to that white girl? And my question used to be, oh, you trying to fuck? And they used to be like, no. Guess what? Old girl is. Old girl liked the Mocam mixtape we made. You said it was corny. Old girl want to come hang out and watch the Transformer movie when it come out. You don't want to go. You want to sit around. You want to go with Pookie and Ray Ray. And it's not all of y'all to do that. Because I came across some very great black women in my lifetime that was about the same stuff that I was about. But times didn't align with where we were going in our careers and in our lives. So you're supposed to love who you love. If you worry about who everybody else sleeping with, that means you dried up and don't nobody want that ghost vagina you got. So
okay,
you worried about who I'm slinging meat to. Get your shit together. Because like I said, love, I got it all. You get them all. Rainbow. And I ain't talking the LGBT one. I'm talking the women skin tones. That's what I'm on. Go on.
That's Steve. What you said originally. It's okay. What you said originally was the love, right? Oh, and again, you can't help who you love. That's a true story. You know what I mean? Regardless of what scenario, who you're with, how you're with them, or whatever the case may be, love is love. Love is pure. Whether that be you be with a black woman, a white woman, or just a rainbow, like this man just said. Love is one of the most uncontrollable feelings on the planet. And once you're in it, it can either sway you in one of two directions. You know what I mean? And you always hope that it sways you in the direction of growth. But sometimes some people pull you down and they make they make you feel horrible. And it sucks. But you still love who you love. And love is absolutely one of the most powerful feelings on the planet. True love conquers all, to be perfectly honest with you, man. So if you do have somebody that you love like that, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
That's it.
More money.
Yeah, more money. Get on it, because
I could go on for a lifetime, guys.
Hey man, I threw the bait out there. I threw the bait out there, and you know what? Y'all caught it on so many levels, because at the end of the day, Steve, you said you don't know what was going on with why a lot of a lot of black males, which is actually really not a lot.
It's a smaller percentage.
It's a very small percentage of
than they think.
Black males. Yeah. So black males, I think it's 80%, 85% marry black women. Now,
yes,
the issue is what Justin brought up and what I was going to bring up, but Justin brought it up regarding the past. And I was there for both of y'all. High school, college, I was there. And let's just be honest. The sisters were checking for different dudes.
It's true.
The sisters were checking for different dudes. Listen, at the end of the day, a lot of black males get accused of broken homes and having so many kids out of wedlock and so many babies by different ladies. That is not true. That's not all black males, because women in general don't like a lot of dudes. They like a small percentage of dudes. So they will keep recycling. They share men.
100%.
They share them. Sharing men, hallelujah. They're sharing men. Okay, they are, and it's okay. I know it's a subject that's a little sensitive, but it's true. They're attracted to the same man. Pookie, Ray, whatever the case may be, at the time they had their child or children. But Ray Pookie got like 8 kids.
Yep.
The numbers don't lie. You can get mad at what I'm saying, but the numbers don't lie. A lot of black males are not having sex. A lot of black males are not having kids out of wedlock. So the guys that actually are marriage material, they don't want them. At least not yet.
Yo, if I'm gonna put it into perspective like this, when I was out here in the world or whatever, doing my thing and dating as a younger man, if I had waited for people to start checking for me to be successful, you'd be looking at a 35-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I lost my virginity to a black girl. And I was, it is what it is. But at the same token, it's a lot of dudes who I know that are like me, that like the same stuff that I like. Some of these cats wasn't losing their virginity till 19, 20 years old. Because they wasn't getting checked for. And then when they was losing it, it wasn't somebody who looked like us who was taking it. So teach your kids, teach your daughters to check for the smart dude, the dude with that carry all the books around. I don't know if kids even carry books around. The dude with the laptop, man, that's always on his tablet and he making stuff and he writing code. Those the dudes you're supposed to send your daughter after. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck if old Lindell can throw the football 85 yards down the field and it's a perfect spiral. If Lindell ain't got no discipline and he don't got no head on him, Lindell gonna be right on the block with Pookie and Ray.
And that's who they go for. And that's like they're attracted to that person at that time. And then, you can come back around and say you want somebody with finances or they're doing well for themselves and security and all these different things. But
it kind of goes a couple ways though, because you got them star athletes that get hunted.
Yeah, they do get hunted.
But that's the guys we're talking about, Steve, as far as the ones that they're sharing them. They're sharing them.
I dig that, but it doesn't start just in sometimes in the NBA, NFL, or whatever the case may be. Start in high school. Start when you out there killing. You know what I'm saying? You out there doing your thing and you got a shoulder, you know what I'm saying? I know someone that was a phenomenal football player and junior in high school and had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Had a child at the time. Now, granted, he panned out to be this great person in football and stuff like no, but he was a great football player and he said he had a kid early, right? But they are attracted to not all of them, but a lot of girls are attracted to those athletes. So men, as fathers to your sons, you gotta tell them that ain't it, man. Stay away from that. Yeah, stay away from this girl. She's too fast for you. Stay away from her. Go do this. Hang out with your friends. Don't focus on this because this will get you locked in and then making dudes. Because you already know, man. Some dudes they step into euphoria and then all of a sudden they have an opportunity to go to a college that's far away.
Exactly.
Decide to stay a little closer to home because euphoria is still in the area. You know what I'm saying? And they have that opportunity and they get swayed and their judgment gets swayed because they step into a little bit of that the punani. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that lust for that feeling and all the other stuff can get you caught up. So men, as men, we need to teach our sons, you need to understand that, busting chops ain't always it. Like sometimes waiting until you 19, 20 years old to encounter that sexual experience is a good thing. If I think back to, when I lost mine at 17 years old, I wish I didn't do it. I wish I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I say it in the sense to where, once that happens, oh God, no, nah, we ain't doing that.
I
Not
say
that
a
type of
word.
party. Not
I
that
just
type of party. Not that
oh,
type of.
hey, go on,
But
Steve. Keep
I
going.
just said, you know what I mean? Like, I wish it didn't do it. I wish it did wait. I wish it waited until the right time, man. Sometimes that is the best thing, to wait until the right time, bro. Yo, we all like to clap cheeks. We do. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? But sometimes waiting until it's all said and done, or you find somebody that you really fuck with like that, is the best time to do it. My personal opinion.
I could have saved that man some heartache, more money. I,
Oh,
I was going to go after. He beat me to it. I wouldn't have had to, it would have been a different world out here. But
Yeah.
I told you this,
don't do
Steve.
it.
Yeah.
Wait.
We
Off
gonna
camera.
talk about it
Off camera.
offline. We can
Off camera. Off camera. Off camera.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. Oh, we just got dusty.
Fuck that nigga's
The
life
dust
up.
is hit.
You know what? It's all good. So that being said, I'm not far from fucked up. Good to go.
I'm
But
messing around. You know
oh,
what I mean.
but
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, Steve. I think you're right, Justin. But at the end of the day, I don't think it. Again, you have to watch. I don't think it's color. I think it's more of. I don't even think it's actually looks anymore. It is look in a way, but it's more about the inside of that person, like a beautiful personality. Because a lot of these spirits, a lot of these ladies, they're raised by Lilith. They're not raised by Eve. They
Yeah.
raised by Lilith, man. And Lilith, if you know who Lilith is, listen, you want to have some beautiful souls, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy and hearts and energy, man. Inside, the inside, the inside. Because I tell you what, when you have to start compromising and talking with somebody, growing with somebody, maybe getting married to somebody, you kind of have to have this compromise in this heart. You don't want this vain, superficial a-hole, and that is what it is on that. I'm not going to get any deeper. I'm going to leave
maybe
it
that'd
alone.
be for next episode.
Next episode. So are we wrapping episode 2?
Oh, I think it's that
No,
time, man.
yeah. Wait,
Yeah. You know what?
we going to wrap.
Yeah.
I did get, dag, I should save it for the next one.
Save it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'll save it.
Yeah.
I ain't going to forget it. Trust me.
Yo, fire as always, man. Justin's ready to take us out of here, bro.
All right. This was episode 2 of Everybody Has a Mic podcast. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Like, subscribe, comment. We out here trying to give y'all good content out here. We kind of keep it real. It's the superficial is done. Cat Williams told y'all the truth is going to be exposed in 2024. We came at the end because we exposing, we spitting the truth. If you don't like what we got to say, get your own pod. That's all I got to say. We out.
Alex, now, yo, please be safe until the next time. Yeah.
Always.